Hi, welcome. I'm Kelly Lang. I come from Virginia and I've been living with brain injury since 2001. And I am the co-leader of the Brain Injury Advisory Council from the Brain Injury Association of America. We are a group of survivors who have been living with brain injury for over 130 years. And we advise and advocate and inspire those of you living with brain injury and your caregivers um, in how you can live a better life following brain injury. Now I'd like to introduce the rest of my council. So I'm going to start with Carol, who's my co-leader.
Hi, I'm Carol Starr. I've been living with brain injury since 1999, and I live in Maine.
Angela,
Hi guys, I'm Angela Lee Tucker. I live in Asheville, North Carolina, and I've had a brain injury since 2008.
Kaz,
Hello, everyone. I'm Cazoshay Marie. I'm located in Phoenix, Arizona, and I have been living with brain injury since 2017.
Darcy,
Hi, my name is Darcy Keith. I am from Fishers, Indiana, and I've been living with brain injury since 1991.
and Josh,
Hey everyone, my name is Josh Kirchmeier. I live in New Hampshire and I've been living with a brain injury since 2003.
and Kelly,
Hi all, I'm Kelly Pokrevka. I'm in Virginia and my brain injury occurred in 2013.
and Stacia.
Hi, everyone. I'm Stacia Bissell. I live in Western Massachusetts, and my brain injury occurred in 2011.
Saying that brain injury is a chronic condition does not mean that people with it will experience symptoms all the time or even ever again. That's the question that Kaz and I will discuss today. So Kaz, how did this talking point impact you?
This was a really important one to me because, when I initially received my brain injury diagnosis, which did take some time, I really didn't receive a lot of information about what it was going to be like, not only initially, but even long term. And so I really didn't know what to expect. And I didn't know really at the time that there were going to be peaks and valleys. I was going to make progress and then, have setbacks and then make more progress. And it's not a linear journey, for myself or for any brain injury survivor, really. And so hearing this talking point was really encouraging to me because it really, once again, just kind of, I want to say, kind of legitimized my experience that, it's okay to make steps forward and steps back. And that just because a symptom comes up again at some point during your brain injury journey doesn't mean that that's going to be your permanent state. There are back and forth times, and progress is always possible. And so it's very encouraging to have this talking point. How about you, Josh? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree. The statement helps provide and like kind of validate with me that there's going to be some periods that are better than others, and that you should almost expect things to evolve over time. And it's not the same thing as just an injury that you're going to recover and you know be back to whatever you were before.
Hmm. Very true. And how do you feel like this changes your experience with brain injury?
Yeah, I think like like I just mentioned, it's not like an injury or like a broken bone, and then you recover it and you go back to whatever you were doing before. It's something that evolves and requires ongoing management and adjustments. And the more that you're open to the changes and have flexibility throughout your journey, the better it'll be from that.
Very true.
How about from this point, how can you use it when you're talking to other families and or friends or medical providers about your brain injury?
Yes, I think it's a very important tool to be able to use when talking to friends, family, and medical providers because, again, as we kind of mentioned, it just kind of gives more information about what our actual experience is. And I think it can also help provide, on a personal level within your friends and family, a little more understanding and patience, I think, to know that you may be fine at one point and then another symptom may come up even within the same day. So having it be understood that this is the experience of brain injury survivors for medical providers as well to keep in mind it's not a linear process, as we mentioned. So that's how I think it could be used as a talking point to just kind of increase that awareness of what our experiences actually are day to day. And for you, Josh, why is this talking point important to brain injury survivors?
Yeah, like for me as a survivor, I think it just helps validate that um, new things will come up over time, and that even things that might have been there at one point might go away and they might come back. And it's just part of your overall journey. Like for me, I had, big mood swings after my injury, and I didn't know how to handle those. And then over time, I've had periods where they are worse or they're better, but being open to that and then to continually to work on that and do things like meditation have helped me with have more tools to be able to handle when those situations come up and how to deal with that.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you think? What do you want other survivors to take away from this talking point?
For me, I think the biggest thing that I would like for other survivors to take from this talking point is to have grace with yourself. For myself, even right now, I've recently had to go back into doing physical therapy and vision therapy. Well, I just recently graduated from vision therapy, but I'm still currently in physical therapy after several years of not being in it. And so, what I would like for them to take away from this talking point is that wherever you're at now is not necessarily your permanent state, but for however long it lasts, it's okay. And to not be too hard on yourself if symptoms do come up. It's encouraging to me because you can know that whatever you're experiencing at this moment is not necessarily your permanent condition. And to just have grace with yourself, I would say would be the main thing I would like for survivors to take away from this talking point. What about you? What would you like for other survivors to take from this point?
Yeah, that's a great response. I agree with you. And yeah, it's to me, it's this is a lifelong journey, and this condition is just part of you. And the more that you can accept that and be open to that, and work with whatever situation you have or whatever is affecting you today, and how to get better tomorrow, that's going to set you up for the best success over time, and uh, just build your new life around the new you.
Mm-hmm. I like that. Very well said.
Okay, now Darcy and I are going to share our thoughts on this, our takeaways. And my takeaway is that chronic condition means it never fully goes away, that you always live with some sort of a symptom. You will over times it peaks and valleys, and I think of it as an ocean that ebbs and flows. Sometimes the waves go out, so your symptoms abate for a little bit, and sometimes they come rushing in, and it's you just have to be prepared and to know that it's quasi normal to have this chronic condition, and it can be managed, and it doesn't mean your life is over. It means it just took a pivot.
So, as I mentioned previously, my injury occurred in 1991, and I was 22 years old at that time. So, I've had a long time to see if my brain has aged well, 34 years over, having the chronic condition of having a brain injury. Well, I had a neuropsych done a year after I was injured, and then over the years, I felt a little bit maybe cognitive decline, and I wanted to get another neuropsych done to see how has my brain aged. And I just had one a couple months ago, and the neuropsychologist told me that I experienced neuroplasticity for the last 34 years, and my brain has improved over the time. So just because your brain ages, it could improve, as we mentioned earlier, and we just hope that that's the case.
Be sure to watch our Survivor to Survivor videos of all 12 points from the Communicating About Brain Injury statement.
Thank you for watching, everyone.